Before London ruled the world, Lisbon was its golden crown, the richest city in Europe. On November 1st, 1755, thousands gathered in churches for morning prayer. Then, in just 6 minutes, 85% of the city collapsed. Welcome to 18th century Lisbon, once one of the wealthiest and most beautiful cities in the world. Before London or Paris claimed their dominance, Lisbon was the gateway to the globe. A city where the air smelled of cinnamon and pepper, and the streets were paved with riches. Through advanced AI technology, we have transformed 18th century sketches into photorealistic scenes, allowing you to walk the narrow, bustling alleys of the Alfama and stand before the magnificent Ribeira Palace, the crown jewel of the Tagus. In the early 1700s, Lisbon was home to nearly 200,000 people, making it the fourth largest city in Europe, a place of extreme contrasts. Acting as a new Rome with over 40 churches and 90 convents, yet remaining a chaotic medieval labyrinth without a modern sewage system. This golden age was built upon pillars of Portuguese supremacy. The spice link to the east through Goa and Malacca, the silk and porcelain route through Macau, strategic ports in Africa securing the Atlantic routes, and the massive Brazilian gold and diamond boom. King João V invested this unimaginable wealth into prestige, commissioning advanced aqueducts to bring water to the city, and gathering secret nautical archives known as Roteiros. However, this prosperity had a dark side, lived under the shadow of the Inquisition, where public penance known as auto de fe took place. This took place in the bustling Rocio Square. Everyday life was a struggle for many. Without running water, the city's muscle came from immigrants, known as Gallegos, carrying barrels up steep hills, while the Bairro Alto neighborhood became the birthplace of the Fado. The melancholic sounds of Fado echoed through the night. Everything changed on the morning of November 1st, 1755. During the major religious holiday of All Saints' Day, at 9:40 a.m., the ground began to tremble. At 9:40 a.m., a massive undersea earthquake shook the city. Estimated at 8.5 to 9.0 on the Richter scale, it was felt across Europe, shaking the city for 6 agonizing minutes, causing heavy stone roofs to collapse on thousands of worshippers. The air became thick with the dust of centuries of masonry. Screams filled the air as the city's grandest structures fell. In the Carmo convent, the roof caved in on the faithful. People rushed toward the open spaces of the Tagus riverfront, seeking safety away from the swaying narrow streets. But the river Tagus was acting strangely. The water withdrew, exposing shipwrecks and lost cargo, a sign of the horror yet to come. Then, the tsunami arrived, a wall of water 20 feet high. It surged up the Tagus, swallowing the crowds on the shore. Those who survived the quake now fought the tide. Thousands were swept away in minutes. As the water receded, a third disaster began. A firestorm sparked by thousands of church candles. The fires raged for 5 days, unchecked, transforming the city into a literal furnace. Between 30,000 and 60,000 people died in those few horrific days, and 85% of the city was simply destroyed. The Royal Library, with its 70,000 volumes and maps, was lost forever. Priceless paintings by Titian and Rubens were reduced to ash. The tragedy shook the foundations of European thought, sparking debates among philosophers like Voltaire and Rousseau. They questioned the nature of God and the reality of human suffering. If God was good, why did he destroy a city of the faithful on a holy day? This became a turning point for the Enlightenment, shifting the focus from divine will to human reason. From the ashes, one man stepped forward to lead. Sebastião José de Carvalho e Melo, the Marquês de Pombal. His famous command, bury the dead and heal the living. He led a rational, calculated rebuilding of the city, rejecting the old medieval maze for a modern grid, implementing a revolutionary earthquake-resistant construction. Known as the Pombaline cage, it was designed to flex, not break, This was the birth of modern seismology and urban planning, creating the wide, airy boulevards of the Baixo Pombalina, a city reborn from the ruins of the old world. The Praça do Comércio was built on the site of the destroyed royal palace, signaling Portugal's transition into a modern mercantile nation. The king chose not to rebuild his palace here, leaving the space for trade. This square became the new face of Lisbon, open and welcoming, under the watchful eye of the bronze statue of King José I. Every building in the Baixo was built to a strict, uniform height. Standardized parts allowed the city to rise with incredible speed. The Pombaline style was born, functional, sober, and safe. This was the first city in the world to be designed for disaster. Pombal's power was absolute, often ruling with an iron fist. He suppressed the nobility and the church to empower the state. This radical transformation faced heavy resistance from the old guard, but the result was a city that looked toward the future, not the past. Lisbon became a symbol of resilience for all of Europe. The wide boulevards were designed to prevent the spread of fire, and the grid system made the city easy to navigate and govern. Today, walking through these plazas means walking on top of ruins. Layers of history buried deep beneath the limestone. A city that refused to die, even when the earth itself betrayed it. A place that transitioned from medieval to modern through an enduring spirit. This endurance gave birth to a unique Portuguese spirit, a feeling known as saudade, a deep, melancholic longing. It is the presence of absence, the memory of what was lost. But Lisbon's tragedy did more than change its architecture. It changed the way the world looked at the earth itself. Science began to replace superstition in the face of disaster. The Marquês de Pombal's rationalism became the new law. He centralized power to ensure the city's survival. The Inquisition's power began to wane under his reforms, replaced by the hum of a mercantile, global trade hub. Lisbon was once again the gateway to the Atlantic, but the scars of 1755 remained just beneath the surface. Every stone in the Baixo tells a story of survival, a story of a people who refused to let their spirit be buried. As we walk these streets today, we walk with ghosts. The ghosts of those who built, lost, and rebuilt this city. Lisbon's journey is a testament to the human will, from a medieval labyrinth to a modern masterpiece. It is a city that lives between its tragic past and its bright future. A city that found its voice in the silence of the ruins. The echoes of 1755 are still heard in the chords of the Fado, reminding us that from destruction comes the opportunity for change. Rationality, courage, and a touch of melancholy. These are the pillars of the new Lisbon. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. As we use the technology of the future to honor the stories of the past, let us know which city secrets we should uncover next, as we keep history reborn through the lens of AI. Until then, remember the city that refused to stay in the ashes. Lisbon, the eternal city of the Atlantic.